Replay. We hope you're enjoying the day. My name's Paul Drury. I write for a magazine called Retro Gamer. Back in 1984, when I was 14, all the talk in our playground was of two mega games, Bandersnatch and Cyclops, that were going to be released by Imagine Software. Back then, everything that Imagine did seemed to be polished, whether it was the very arty adverts or the incredibly flash cars that they seemed to be giving away to their teenage programmers. We waited in anticipation for Bandersnatch and Cyclops, and they never appeared. The company ended up imploding in a very public meltdown. The reason it was such a public meltdown is because a BBC film crew were there to record some of the key moments of that meltdown. And it came out as a documentary called Commercial Breaks, which we're going to be watching in a short time. I'm very pleased to welcome to Replay today Paul Anderson, who was the producer of that documentary, and also Bruce Everiss, who was the operations manager for Imagine through those heady days. So ladies and gentlemen, Paul and Bruce. Okay, Bruce, I'm going to start with you. Napoleon once described us as a nation of shopkeepers, and I believe that's exactly how you got into this computer games business, by setting up a shop at the end of the 70s in Liverpool called Micro Digital. What was it like running a shop at the end of the 70s when, that was pre-Spectrum days, there wasn't very much to sell, surely?
Yes. I set up a computerised bookkeeping company. I'd set up a computerised bookkeeping company called Data Pool Services. Data, it was in Liverpool. And I started reading Computer Weekly, and there was all this stuff about this microcomputers happening in America, in California. And the S100 bus machines using 8080. And I studied it, and I thought, oh, they're opening computer stores. I'll do that, just like you do when you're young. So that's Micro Digital opened in 1978 on the 31st of July, and we sold a kit computer called the NASCOM. We sold Samsung Cambridge Mark 14s, which I got off Clive Sinclair, and we sold books. Books like crazy, you just wouldn't believe. Everybody was hungry for knowledge because everything was so new. And I imported the books in bulk from the States, and we sold mountains and mountains of books. And then memory, 416 memory chips, short run cassettes. We sold tens of thousands of short run cassettes, C15s. So there's lots of things we could do. And there was also all sorts of things like the NASCOM kits had 1,200 solder joints on, so most of them didn't work. So we set up a fix-it service. You send us your NASCOM, whatever you've done to it, and 50 quid, and we'll send it back to you working. And so that was a good profit centre. So we had fun.
You mentioned there that some of the computers you're selling involved doing 1,200 solder joints. I imagine you weren't getting kids wandering in buying these computers. It was actually coming into the shop.
There was a lot of people there who were radio and hobbyists, and they were quite keen. And then there was the people from academia. The Liverpool University had a very active microcomputing department, and they were very outgoing, and so they had a big involvement. And then they set up Liverpool Computer Club, and there was, and people came. People flew to the shop from all over Europe. So we got, and people would come up from all over the UK, drive up to the shop to see it.
It sounds like it was a real meeting point. I'm interested in some of your employees that you had there. I understand that one of your employees was indeed Mark Butler, who went on to found Imagine. So what was that young lad like then?
I was a cocky, chirpy, self-confident salesman. I employed him as a salesman. I mean, I've seen him fairly recently. He's still the same Mark Butler that I first employed in the shop.
Right, and also understand again someone that we're going to see on this film later, Eugene Evans, who was one of the early coders for Imagine. Yeah, so what was he doing there?
Well, I employed him when he was about 14 as the Saturday boy in the shop, to make the coffee and what have you. And of course now he's very senior to electronic arts in America.
The boy's done well for himself, for sure. Now, I would like to ask then, at what point did your shop actually start selling computer games then?
I don't think we ever actually... Oh, I went to California to see what the American computer stores looked like compared to ours. And they had something there called an Apple, and at the back of the shop there was this notice board, and on this notice board were polythene bags, and in the polythene bags were cassettes. And these were games that people had made at home and were selling through the notice board in the computer store. And I think they were the first ever commercial computer games. And I bought a whole pile of those back, and we had them in the shop. And they must have been the first commercial games of Britain, or possibly ever. Maybe.
Well, talking about some first, you were there in Liverpool when a certain company called Bug got started. Did you have much involvement with them? They're quite famous because they released Manic Miner by Matthew Smith. Did you have some involvement with them?
Yeah, well, what I was doing at the time, I was working as a consultant for quite a few different people. I was working as a consultant for quite a few different people. One of whom was an office equipment company called DAMS, D-A-M-S. Another one of which was Bugbite. Now, Bugbite, I got to work there because they'd employed Mark Butler and they'd employed Eugene Everiss. And if you go and look at the succession of Bugbite inlay cards, you can see when I arrived, because they were like black and white photocopied, and then suddenly they're airbrushed, full-coloured, printed, you know, everything. And that was when I arrived.
From Bugbite, you went on to be there right at the start of Imagine. They had huge early success with a game called Arcadia, which perhaps some people in our audience will recall. Let's just get to it. How much money were you bringing in there, Bruce?
Okay. When we first started, there was no distribution retail whatsoever. So we were selling mail order because it was the only way. And what I did is, because of working for DAMS, I understood about a newfangled idea called telesales. And what I did is I stole from DAMS their telesales manager, Colin Stokes, and two of their telesales girls. We got all the yellow pages for the whole of Britain and we worked through them. So I'd say to the girls, okay, we'll do photo shops, camera shops. And they would then do all the camera shops, bring every camera shop in Britain and say you ought to be selling our games. Or every newsagent, or whatever. So we used the yellow pages, and that is how games ended up in shops. There weren't games in shops before we did that exercise, and after that there were games in shops. That's what created the game industry in Britain, was using the yellow pages and using telesales. And the girls were on bonuses, and we eventually got the turnover up to... then we got two more telesales girls in who were multilingual, and we did the same in France, Germany, Spain, across Europe. So we got the turnover then up to £1 million a month, and to give you an idea, these games were costing us a few pennies to make, and we were selling them for a few pounds to our customers. So it was virtually all profit. So that £1 million cost us, £10,000 to do in terms of product.
This nice would this perhaps explain the fact that you managed to buy, or supposedly buy, incredibly flash cars? Didn't you drive a Ferrari, Bruce? Is that correct?
Well, two, not at the same time.
Two jets, two Ferrari. There was a famous story that appeared in the Daily Star, I believe, about Eugene Evans, who got this incredibly flash car that he was too young to drive. I'm always intrigued how the Daily Star found out about that. I mean, did you get in touch with them? Was this a good example of hyping up,
Would I do anything like that?
Tell us.
Of course. What you're doing is you're creating an image to the world. And, it's marketing. You decide the image you want to create, and then you issue press releases, and you tell the press, and you have stories that support the image, the story that you want to create. And the cars were, everyone was bought on hire purchase. So all you had to do was find find the deposit, and then it was just monthly payments. So it wasn't like we were spending a lot of money on the cars.
All right, okay. You sound like you're very proud that Imagine was one of the first companies that actually tried to run as a serious commercial business with, you know, artistic advertising and slick marketing. And I can just tell you're proud of that. I just wanted to know the fact that Imagine has also become synonymous with hype, with excess, and with vaporware. Are you equally as ashamed that that's their legacy?
No.
Do you want to elaborate? Is that just part of the course then? That's what marketing's about?
I was just doing my job. You know, what other people were doing, you know, well, that's for them to answer for. But I was doing my job, and as far as I'm concerned, you know, well, everybody's sitting here, so something must have worked.
Thank you very much, Bruce. Paul, please can I turn to you? So tell us then, Paul, what were you doing before you came to make the Commercial Breaks documentary?
I was working in what was then called the Science and Features Department of the BBC, which had responsibility for two main programmes, Tomorrow's World and Horizon. Tomorrow's World and Horizon. And we had sort of several other sort of major series that were going through at the same time, the sort of Ascent of Man type of connections. So it was all quite serious, with the exception of Tomorrow's World, which was the BBC One output, which was the sort of...
It does sound quite serious. So was it difficult to then tell to your bosses, I'd really like to make a programme about this emerging game scene?
Yeah, I mean, in those days, I mean, the BBC was quite a snobby place.
You've totally changed now since then.
I don't work there anymore, so I wouldn't like to say. But it was quite different. I had originally wanted to make a programme about hackers and about hacking, but I couldn't get any interest in that at all. But then it so happened that my exec producer had this proposal which had gone through to make a series about industry, about business, which was a sort of spin-off from Tomorrow's World, which would look at the commercial aspects. We had a sort of go with that with another programme called The Risk Business, which had been on BBC One, which was a spin-off from Tomorrow's World. But this was a sort of adjunct. But again, it was quite difficult because at that time people weren't very interested in industry and business. It was sort of, there was only the money programme, and that was really about economics.
So tell us, I mean, were you a gamer yourself? You weren't playing Arcadia, I presume?
No, I mean, the reality was then, in those days, I mean, in the late 70s and early 80s, we used to have a Friday morning meeting after Tomorrow's World, which went out on Thursday night. And I remember very clearly there came a point when people would start to groan when we suggested another microprocessor-based item, because they were like, it was becoming really... So I knew about computing. We didn't have them in the offices, I mean, we didn't use them. It was even pre the BBC Micro then we were talking about. So, I mean, I was interested in technology and had enough knowledge to be dangerous, but that was about it.
And so when did you first hear about Imagine? I mean, what made you make the call, perhaps, to this emerging, slightly cocky, Liverpool-based software house?
I didn't know about Imagine, but in the fashion of making a programme, I sort of conducted research all over. I very quickly found Crash magazine. I remember going to a computer club outside Manchester, which was a complete eye-opener because there were school kids there doing stuff, which was just beyond me. And it was sort of hopping at sort of 7 o'clock on a sort of wet sort of Tuesday evening. And Imagine sort of came along later. I mean, it was part of the buzz and it was part of it. But I mean, I remember looking at Llama Soft and Ocean, you know.
Jeff Minter's here actually, you can reacquaint yourself. So, you get in touch with Imagine and you go and film there. Can you tell us, what did you find on your arrival, which I think would have been sort of maybe spring '84, I'm thinking?
My lasting memories was a huge sort of office with not that many people in it and not a great deal going on. I mean, that was the impression I had. I mean, bear in mind I'd been going to places like IBM, which was sort of huge and vast and very adult and highly polished sort of operations, and we've been sort of going to places that were in sort of the early days of sort of supercomputers around Europe. So I mean, it wasn't terribly impressive actually.
What did you make of some of those key players? It was run or owned by Dave Lawson and Mark Butler. What did you make of that pair?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'd sort of call them a bit fly. I mean, they both sort of kept a distance from me. They weren't... And there was this whole issue about the success of Arcadia, and then there were these new games, Bandersnatch, which I think when I first got there, I don't think it had a name. I mean, there was this sort of like secrecy, everything was dead secret, I mean, what I do remember very clearly was being given a sort of like it was a homemade badge that you were given at reception, which was sort of quarter-inch thick laminated plastic, which somebody had obviously sat up and cut out and stuck together with a sort of imagined logo, visitor on it. It looked like something off sort of a very early sort of Star Trek, It was a sort of...
You haven't still got it, have you?
Well,
have you got
I
one, Bruce?
have.
Dare I ask, what did you make of Bruce? Take your time now, take your time.
Well, again, a bit, I mean, as he is now, I suppose. I mean, a bit sort of, a bit sort of full of himself. Not one to sort of... I mean, you see, what I'm interested in is he's given us a figure of this £1 million. I'd be very sceptical about that.
Bruce, do you want to defend yourself there, Bruce? You know the figures.
I have to pay for girls' website. There you go.
Just one question before we show the film. Were you surprised how things went, Paul? We're going to show the film in a moment, but were you surprised how things went, or did you sense in that first meeting, hang on, this is not going to end well?
Yes, I did, and what was slightly, I suppose, serendipity was I'd been talking to David Ward at Ocean, and I'd sort of taken a plan B, which is that I would divide my film between Ocean in Manchester and Imagine in Liverpool. And yeah, I mean, I had a sort of a premonition that things were going to go slightly, tits up, because when we came back from lunch on the day of the sort of the bailiffs walking in, I do remember saying to the cameraman, right, turn over, because we were shooting on film then. I want the camera running so that we can picture and sound sync. The minute the doors of the lift open.
What a perfect intro. Thank you. Okay, we're now going to show commercial grade documentary on this screen, which hopefully, you will see, okay? It's about half an hour long, and then we're going to come back about both Bruce and Paul giving some